Hello and welcome back to Mass Effect Andromeda. My name is Wolverine and previously we found this but ignored it. Comet Tallulah, that's Tallulah with 2 A's and 2 L's. And she has some vanadium for us. Nom nom nom. Very good. Right, so I can't go to an entire solar system and just ignore most of it. I must explore it, as in my nature. That planet looks like it is losing its atmosphere to the star. I'm gonna guess its orbit was changed by the Scourge. That's a pretty telling view of it. Whoop. Hefina. Pass 89 in the Hefina system. Well, that appears to be the dying remains of Jali No, a massive gas giant named for a mythical Angaran hero. It has been largely stripped of its atmosphere. So yeah, I only learned this quite recently, but turns out gas giants start lives as just regular old rocky planets like Earth, Mars and Venus, but they get to a certain mass where they start to attract the lighter elements like hydrogen and helium that make up suns. Normally they just gather and gather and just get bigger and bigger. If there's enough material around, they'll ignite and turn into a sun themselves. This planet was unlucky. It either got to a certain point and then got too close to the sun and started losing its hydrogen and helium, or something else happened and it's in the wrong place and it's losing its big heavy atmosphere. So at the centre of Jupiter and all the other gas giants in our solar system, there's a real planet. It's just in horrible circumstances. I saw a glowy thing in your rings. Gib.
Anomaly on sensors.
Yeah, I see it. There it is. There it is. There we go. Boom.
Probe away.
Is it an interesting rock? Yes, it's an interesting rock. Before the Scourge, the asteroids ringing Carnero were a moon housing a small Angaran colony. The moon and the colony are long gone. Well, yeah, if it was a colony on a moon and the moon got blown up, I got some debris from this rock that looks just as unremarkable as all the other rocks that make up this ring. Camiro No was named for the little brother of mythical Angaran hero Jali No. Oh, that's that planet over there that's burning. Camiro No existed in the shadow of a much larger gas giant, yeah. Okay. And this one? Dovar. It's like something out of Skyrim. No. Free hydrogen, anyone? Oh dear. What? Dovar. Gravity is abnormally light for a world of its size. Certainly an effect of mass effect fields generated by the Scourge. Dovar should be further observed as it escapes the Scourge tendrils. Huh. Radius 8888. Doesn't give you the gravity though. Right, we're done here. We can leave. Right, I clicked on the wrong planet last time because I completely forgot how this user interface works. So EOS has some missions for us. Eladen, that's where we're supposed to go. Right, we've been there. We've been to Kavadara briefly. Didn't really examine it in great detail. We've never been to this solar system. Yes. Off we go. This solar system, whose name I didn't bother to read. Strange new worlds indeed.
sounds from the black hole are incredible out here. The song of the dark side of creation.
Suvi, I'm getting pretty sick of you, I'll be perfectly honest.
Anomaly detected.
Yes, I can see it. Little shiny dot right there.
Probes launched. Getting a scan.
Starship wreckage, eh? Well, it's probably been there for centuries, so we'll get to it in good time. H205, so if it's a H- number, it means we knew about it on our way in. Because H205 is our designation for it, what we gave it when we were in the Milky Way galaxy. So what's happened to it since? It's a very small ring system. It looks bleeding cold. And it is a diminutive sphere of rock and ice, entirely unmapped and is not universally shown on Heleus Cluster charts. It could one day prove an excellent hiding place. Well done everyone, we found the most boring planet in the known universe. H205 in the Anasa system. Sometimes they don't even bother putting it on maps. It's like the craggy island of the Heleus Cluster. Got ourselves a gas giant. Oh, it's a bit twitchy. Mornax Vinkar. Oh, you get a full name. A Taurian exile attempted to found a training post on one of this gas giant's minuscule moons. The project ended in disaster. Mornax Vinkar is a Taurian phrase for bad mistake. Huh. There we go. Acermos. So long, bad mistake. Collective appears to be using Acermos as a listening post. Several unmanned receiver stations dot the planet, either studying the black hole or monitoring local ship traffic. Indeed. The Collective being one of the groups of people who left the Nexus during the big old fight that we weren't there for. Oh! Camera did not like making that move. Is this a particularly interesting asteroid? You can have a spherical asteroid, I only learned that recently too. H4.444. A few uncharacteristic gouges in the planet's surface suggest a group of exiles have been here stripping away easily accessible mineral deposits. Oh. So if there was anything interesting here, it's gone. Lovely. Where are we now? Oh, we're there, sorry. Starship wreckage. Let me guess, an outcast starship wreckage? The guys who are collectives, sorry, not outcasts. There are two different groups, outcasts and collectives. I'm not really sure what the difference is. Whoa, rocks, rocks! So many rocks! It looks like Ket to me. It appears to be remains of a Ket scout or dropship. Enough functional parts to remain suggest it was not destroyed by Nexus exiles. Perhaps the Rokar were responsible. And I got some bits and pieces. The Rokar being the splinter group of the Angarans, who, for reasons I forget, have decided to do exactly the same as the other Angarans, just with slightly different rules. Oh, it's a Venus planet, all gassy.
Anomaly detected.
And it has a thing. See if I can see it. Oh, it's got a really big storm going on over there. Oh, you can even see lightning. Look at that. Cool. One of the things that astronauts on the International Space Station say is that you learn very quickly that Earth has an awful lot of lightning storms. It's terrifying how many there are. Anyway, that looks like the thing.
Probe's
What kind of a
launched.
thing is it?
Getting a scan.
A river. Great. A very long river. Colonies of jellyfish-like creatures move freely along this enormous river, despite a lack of life elsewhere on the planet. The river may be the last remnant of a dying ecosystem. Huh. Hey, I leveled up. What else can you tell me about this planet? Orbital distance, nearly Earth. Orbital period, nearly Earth. Size, I don't know how big Earth is. Atmospheric pressure, quite low. Surface temperature, 14 degrees. Doesn't sound terrible. Despite its comfortable temperature and seas of liquid water, Sedele is heavily irradiated by mass ejections from the system's sun and is therefore unsuitable for colonization. Ah, boo. A few solar flares and this planet loses its marbles. Exploration done. We shall never visit that system again unless a quest appears there. Eladen. And the Taurians. Not Taurians. Krogans. Do not mix up Taurians and Krogans. They're not best of friends most of the time. One of them nearly wiped out the other one. Sort of. People hold a grudge.
Careful. Word is there's pirates all over this region.
You'd think they'd run out of people to steal from.
I know exactly that there are pirates all over the system. It's kind of why we're here. I've actually forgotten what it was that the Krogan dude said. What's he called? Drax?
Anomaly on sensors.
Ah! Ooh. Looks like a pool table. Oh, so it's a moon orbiting a gas giant. There it is. A moistureless, sweltering landscape covered by a large number of cover-subsidence sinkholes. Eladen still supports life to a limited degree. The fledgling Krogan colony of New Tuchanka is here, along with what appear to be abandoned mining facilities, scattered outposts and camps. Temperature 52 to 99 degrees. Too hot for me. I mean, 22 degrees is too hot for me, to be honest. Let's go. Armor, consumables, squad. In your own time. Select. Drac. You come with. And second person? Should we say Cora this time? I'm not sure why. Let's go.
Sam, send Callow the nav point provided by our Krogan contact. Drac, we're landing on Eladon to rendezvous with Jorgal Strux.
On my way.
There's a weird way of deorbiting.
Where is this meeting place exactly?
Called the Paradise. Middle of nowhere as far as I can tell.
Paradise is different for a Krogan.
Indeed. The real Tuchanka is hell on earth. Is that remnant tech?
Remnant starship?
No.
Yeah.
Only 41% exposed. I will gather what information I can, Pathfinder.
Are we on Tatooine? Your own time game.
Who lives here besides the Krogan?
Scavengers with nothing to lose. Criminals chucked out of Kadara.
Oh,
Gonna be interesting.
yeah. Because Kadara people were so great. I'm slowly dying. That meter in the bottom left is saying that I'm very, very hot. Ah. I don't know why that surprised me, but walking into the shade really helped. Right, okay. That's not the quest we should be doing. Journal. Relationships. Kill Brody, no. Write a family secrets, no. That's not it. None of those. Aladdin. Anyway. Activate the monoliths and speak to the contact. Okie dokie. My eyes! Right, this will be just like me on holiday.
I remember the first time I saw this place, I thought, wow, this is home. I wasn't the only one.
I detect above normal temperatures.
Yes, yes you do. Yeah, this is like me on... Oh, there's one of those sinkholes everyone was talking about. Good.
Not doing nothing. Get out of my face.
Environment check. Temperatures are within acceptable parameters.
God damn it, Sam. I'm already sick of you telling me I'm warm or I'm cold.
Life support at 100%.
Yeah, so this is like me on holiday. I cannot cope with the heat. This is unbearable to me. I sense a side quest over there.
Those Krogan ain't so tough.
You don't look like a Krogan,
Hey,
but this
hey.
looks like a place to be.
Welcome, welcome. Come this way. Follow me.
Okay.
That's a fancy ship, all right. You'll find lots of deals inside.
Just talk to my boss. Come on, this way.
Why are we going in here? This looks like a shop.
This is a special place. The Paradise. No guns here. Keep those holstered. This way. Come inside.
You have a very American understanding of the term no guns. I am carrying at least 2 guns that you can see, and I can whip them out in an instant. That person has a gun, quite a large one, and
It's a fair exchange.
yes, there are many guns present.
Partly. I wouldn't be in business if I wasn't fair. If you don't think so, go trade somewhere else.
Angarans. Locate a Krogan. Is there a Krogan up there? Is it my Krogan detector? Seeing as this is officially a Krogan colony, I was expecting there to be more of them to start with. Yeah, those are definitely Krogans.
Tuchanka.
Don't have to be so loud about it, Saul.
What's my
He's
scanner
from
doing?
Clan Dragal, and you and me, that means something.
You're right, Medjan. Just need the colony on our side.
Okay, whatever. Who are you?
Are you Jorgel Strux?
Maybe. You who I think you are?
I'm the Pathfinder from the Nexus. You asked me to meet you here?
Yeah, I did. Thanks for coming.
I want to say neither of these things, but this is close enough. You want my help, I'm going to give it. If I can get you.
Everyone's best chance for survival is to cooperate. That includes the Krogan.
Good. Nice to know some people are on our side.
So you have problems at the colony?
It's heading to a bad place.
We can't be there anymore.
Morta's become a tyrant.
Did she kick you out?
Hasn't come to that yet, so we're laying low. I want to keep my eye on her. She's planning a strike against the Nexus, that much we know.
Drak's been looking into this, I'm told.
Drak trusts Morta, and I trust Drak.
Hearn, Morta's leading the colony for a reason. She's tough, but that's good. You're not there, Drak. Morta is going to rip this colony apart. And then we're all going to die.
You might be underestimating yourselves.
Everyone needs food and water, even Krogan. Morta's rationing. My group thinks the Krogan should make peace with the Nexus.
I mean, I'm all for that.
We need the Krogan, and the Krogan need us. We all came to Andromeda as one. We should at least try to fix this.
Well, there won't be a colony to make peace with if Morta ruins it. You don't believe me? Go to the Krogan colony yourself and see what she's planning. Talk to Ravenar Brink. He's one of us, on the inside.
If the safety of the Nexus is really on the line, I'll go. Better hope she doesn't shoot me on sight.
Yeah, that'd be a bad omen.
Okay, apparently that made this place slightly more viable, which I can kind of agree with. Right, go to Krogan colony. Is there a sign saying where the Krogan colony is? Map. The paradise. Quest, things. Really big hole in the ground. How do I zoom in? Exile raid? No. Rocks for science? No. Cultivation? No. More cultivation. A memory trigger. Another memory trigger. And another memory trigger. Rocks for science. Not seeing any colonies here. What's this thing? New Tuchanka. That sounds like a colony, alright. Let's go there. Not sure why it wasn't activated straight away. Parley with the Krogan. Honestly, I'm surprised we didn't do this sooner. But I suppose we had to be invited. Right. That way. Looks like we're walking. It just occurred to me that I'm not baking in my spacesuit. Oh, is that going to drop a drop pod on my head?
Activating automated forward station deployment.
Yep, there it is. Well, at least now I can get my car and don't have to use one of these things, although I do want to use one of these things. Nice wheels.
Nice. That thing got new parts?
What? You gonna follow me out there and steal it?
Yeah, I am.
Ooh, fluorite. My fluorite. Even more fluorite. Really good. Right, nobody's willing to let me steal their car, so I suppose I'll summon mine. Which button do I press? This car-shaped one, perhaps? Walking is for chumps.
So, Eladin. Charming so far. What do we got? Besides the sand.
More sand.
The remnant monolith suggests this was indeed supposed to be a golden world. It also suggests the presence of a vault. Additionally, here is the large derelict remnant ship that we saw as we landed.
Hopefully abandoned?
Scans indicate it is not. The site is active with scavengers and remnant bots. Here, scavengers have taken over an abandoned camp between the two.
Flophouse.
In this direction, located in one of the planet's sinkholes, is New Tuchanka, the Krogan colony.
Sinkholes. Sounds fun.
Not really. Eladin is tidally locked to its sister moon and that gas giant above. This side of the moon never cools. Getting trapped in a sinkhole without shelter would mean certain death, as one's blood would boil in 75 seconds.
Oh.
And on that cheery note, let's head for the climate-controlled paradise of the Nomad.
Indeed. Couldn't have said it better myself. Good thing about electric cars, they precondition themselves. So they're always nice and cool or warm inside when you need it to be.
Heat levels increasing.
Now, I don't know this map very well, so there could be an enormous cliff here. No, we're alright. Okay, let's avoid the
If you were an
sinkholes.
Asari commando, you'd be heading for retirement with honors by now.
Ugh. Wait, would I get free booze?
I don't think so.
Ugh.
Yeah, we do not want to fall in one of those sinkholes, because this planet's atmosphere isn't that great. We would burn and die. I'm assured there is some kind of road around here. There it is. I'm not contractually obliged to follow it, although I might reach my destination faster if I do. Where's the fun in that? Whee!
Ambient temperature is normal.
Don't care, we're in a car.
Life support is back online.
Is the car's life support coping? Weird.
I detect above normal temperatures.
I don't care, man.
Pathfinder, this technology was built by the scavengers.
I see, they're a bit shooty looking. Shall we deal with them? Sorry, shut car.
Morta's still pissed off at the Nexus. You'll want to be careful around her, kid.
It's amazing they managed to set up any kind of working colony on this hellscape.
They're Krogan. They can live anywhere.
Environmental temperatures are within acceptable limits.
Sorry, I was shooting.
Life support is stable.
I was shooting a.
That body is new.
Huh? Oh, what that?
Pathfinder, you may wish to scan the body for information.
Yeah, I got it.
Pathfinder, this outlaw died from a highly infectious disease.
Ew.
We can't let this spread to our people. Can we find the source?
Possibly, if I receive more data.
Though contagious bacterial infections are uncommon, this one appears to have transferred via oral contact. Extreme caution is advised. Oh. What this? Communications antenna. And this. Nothing. Another communications antenna, and another one, and another one. Great. Loot. Scopes and stuff. And money. Right. Well, I wasn't expecting to encounter disease today, but...
Heat levels increasing.
Yes, let's leave. So yeah, tidally locked means that the planet always faces one way and it spins at the same rate that it orbits. So you end up always facing the same thing all the time.
Temperature is normal.
Don't care.
Automated protocols activated.
Oh, we're just dropping
forward station.
one of them on these people's front door. Okay. Sure they don't mind. Ooh, there's a nice parking spot here as well. Cool. Nice little park. Here.
Mining zones have been added to your nav system,
Really
Pathfinder.
don't care. Good, didn't fall off to my death by jumping out the door. Nice day for a drive, friend. How are we all doing?
I'm leaving.
You're also
No
colourful.
way this colony will make it.
Come on, you have nowhere to go.
Heard Sloan on Kadara is hiring.
Oh yeah, the Krogans are alright to move in as they please. It's the other aliens who are probably exiles from Kadara and Sloan.
Life support is back online.
Can I come in?
Move along. No outsiders. He's with me, human Pathfinder.
Drac. It's been a while.
Jorgel Strux sent me. I'm supposed to talk with Morda.
So now Strux is friends with the Nexus. Traitor. Think I'm a traitor too?
Shut it, Breck.
Krogan respond better to aggression, I think.
Don't make me headbutt you. I absolutely will.
Tougher than you look. Alright, go ahead.
I'll spread the word so Morda knows you're here.
Good.
That was a reference to one of the earlier Mass Effect games where Shepard can choose to headbutt a Krogan in order to finish an argument. It's surprisingly effective. Well, I've killed lots of aliens, if that helps. In a kind of Sergeant Drebin kind of way. I've just kind of gotten away with it.
The terminal with Dr. O'Keir's data was right next to the scrubbed ones.
Ooh, Dr. O'Keir?
Dr. Gunnar. I'll track it down.
So, bit of background information if you didn't play the previous Mass Effect games. Dr. O'Keir was trying to solve the Krogan genophage, and he got pretty far, so this could be interesting.
Hello. I noticed you were listening. Is it because you're a fan of the Krogan genius, Dr. O'Keir?
Heard of him.
I'm frantic because a terminal with all his research was accidentally sold to a junker.
Ooh.
No. Maybe? What was on it?
I'm familiar with
His
it.
work regarding Krogan physiology and the genophage was advanced. I was his protege. Or, I was acquainted with his protege.
Anyway, it's encrypted, but it would be bad if it fell into the wrong hands. I can give you a nav point and the name of the scavenger I accidentally sold it to.
I know who Dr. O'Keir was, and I will help you if I
Send me the nav point and the
can be
terminal
bothered
identification.
/ go that way.
It's done. I hope it's still on the planet. The Junker was aggressive.
This is one of those decisions that could save an entire species, so worth investing in. Right, okay, the map marker is pretty useless here, and my memory does recall that. Right, we're hearing a lot of the same thing. It would make sense that they're underground. You can control the environment here a lot easier. Oh my god, watching Ryder use stairs is painful.
You know, the Sea of Ataraxia? Pretty wild out there. They'll kill you for a tire if it's the right.
Saw the worm out there again. That thing is huge.
Worm?
Bigger than a thresh maw, isn't it? Soft, squishy human like you should probably steer clear of the wildlife out there.
You said something about a worm?
Not a worm. The worm. Huge. Invincible. You can't miss it. It pops out of the dunes from time to time. Plows down everything in its path.
I'm guessing it is dangerous, so yeah.
As if this planet wasn't deadly enough.
Good news is, it doesn't attack us. Doesn't seem to care about us at all. But stay out of its way. It'll barrel right through you, tear you to pieces.
Thanks for the heads up.
Is it another one of those bleeding architect things that we've killed like 4 of already? Yeah, I actually went in the right direction. Throne room, eh?
Someone get this Nexus trash out of here.
Rude. Got a name. Hello, Hello, Brink. We were told to speak to you first.
You Ravenor Brank? Struck sent me. He said that you...
Ooh.
Yes. Find me later near the fighting pit.
Hey, Nexus. I'm the one you talk to around here.
Are you Morda?
I'm Nakmor Morda, Overlord of the Krogan in Heleus.
Overlord?
Drac, Kesh said you had a new job.
She didn't tell me you did.
And you're the celebrated Pathfinder from the Hyperion, found at last.
I'm Ryder.
This is thrilling. I've never stood so close to a Pathfinder before. Mostly because the Krogan never got one. Welcome to New Tuchanka.
It does seem a bit unfair now that you say it that way.
I understand you and your people are pissed off.
Humans were welcomed into the Citadel Council with open arms, while the Krogan endured centuries of oppression. You have no idea. Your understanding only makes me mad.
Okay, gotcha. Loud and clear.
Why are you here, Pathfinder? To see what a successful colony looks like?
Actually, yeah.
Our outposts are new. We could use the advice.
Your manipulation is so transparent. No advice for you, only regret. Watch, the Krogan will thrive and the initiative will pay. Get out of my face before I smash it.
I'm gonna journal about this later. See you soon.
Okay. Yes, she's a delight. First time we meet,
Morda's a hard ass, but that surprised even me. Not good.
Yeah. Maybe.
The initiative will pay. She said that, right? I didn't imagine it.
Let's talk to Brank before we freak out.
Right. Where is the fighting pit?
Yo, wreck. Swing by when you ain't so busy playing hero. We'll catch up.
Okay, we'll come back later.
Sure thing, Crot. I have stories, let me tell you.
Apparently we need to go 17 meters straight down, so... Is there a staircase around here? The guy said fighting pit. This place doesn't exactly have... Whoop!
Another leak?
Signs.
Yeah, Exile scraps won't hold together for more than a week. And look, those mushrooms are back.
I'm not seeing a staircase or anything that might indicate a way downstairs, or even which direction to go in.
Trash out of here.
So rude. Wait, this looks like it's going downstairs. Yes!
Ran into some of those scavengers.
Ooh, what the hell? Hopeful father. Not sure why I talked.
Come on. We have to try, at least.
You're setting yourself up for disappointment.
Don't talk like that.
What? Go on?
Hey, Nexus, back me up. The initiative did cure the genophage like they promised, right?
The hell?
Not a cure. They've made some good progress.
Barely. There's no point in getting our hopes up.
It's our duty to populate the colony with strong Nakmor offspring. Am I right?
I don't know why I'd say that, because the Krogan are an endangered species. It's a bit... Oh god, I've been dragged into something here. Hope.
This is a new life for the Krogan. Anything can happen.
That's non-committal, I like it.
Right, we're starting over. We've actually got a shot at having a kid now.
Let's continue this discussion later.
Oh, hopeful to have children. Right, okay, fine. Completely misread that situation. I thought I was going to get a rescue a child thing. Ah! I stumbled across... I mean, I found you. You didn't exactly give me directions.
Ravenor Brank.
Quiet.
Anyone tells Morda I'm talking to you and I'm kicked out.
I will not grass on you.
Last thing I want to do is jeopardize the Nexus or this colony.
Me neither. Or Clan Ravenor. Or Clan Jorgal. Or Clan Erdnot.
Erdnot?
Some in Clan Nakmor too.
Okay, got it.
Did you see the crashed ship as you landed?
I did.
Morda's after the drive core.
She can't activate it. It's remnant.
What are you talking about? She's building a bomb.
What?
With a drive core as a power source? Sam?
Dangerous to those handling it, but, in the end, very possible.
Huh.
Demolition teams have been busting down walls for months, battling those robots and scavengers. Lots here want peace with the Nexus. If Morda gets that drive core, boom, it's over. Now get away from me.
Thanks, break.
Huh. So, they plan to blow up the Nexus. Great.
Ignore Team Ringo. My hurt's blood pressures. That's much better.
I suppose we better stop them. Huh. Right. I'm not going to confront them on it. I'm just going to go away and...
Sorry, Pathfinder. No outsiders in the family quarters.
Oh, that's the family quarters. Thank you for being so polite about it, though. I appreciate that.
At least the scavengers haven't attacked us yet.
What's in here? This is not where I parked. This is so not where I parked. Where is my car? Yeah, a door that actually opens on time. This is a good colony. I really should be taking on as many side quests as I can possibly get my hands on whilst I'm here, but I feel like I need a reason to talk to people rather than just go up to a person because they've got an exclamation mark on their head. This isn't an MMO after all.
Don't be stupid.
You alright, mate?
Did that ever stop me?
So you're the human Pathfinder. You look different from the pictures I saw.
Yep, he's dead.
You probably saw pictures of my dad.
Your dad? You replaced him as Pathfinder?
It's a long story.
Haven't really kept up with Nexus news. Enough trouble to occupy me here.
Scavengers?
Amongst other things. You seen the Flophouse yet?
Not yet.
That's where they get together. 80% shacks, 100% trouble. I'll give you the nav point so you can avoid it. Or not, as you choose.
Are you alright, mate?
Have you had much trouble with scavengers at the colony?
Not yet. They're not that stupid. A bunch of squishies against 100-odd Krogan? Give it a little time. Resources run low, they'll get desperate, and who knows.
Cheers.
Thanks. This information will come in handy.
Just trying to help. Be careful out there, Pathfinder.
Nice to meet a friendly face, even though his description is injured Krogan scout and we didn't ask him about his injury. Or offer to help in any way, shape or form. Also, his voice sounded awfully familiar.
Morda says we don't answer to anyone.
I think I'm near the start.
Don't talk to the customers too much. This automator's crap. It looks like it lit from a scrap.
Lovely flags you've got up there. I suppose that's one of the clan symbols, but I don't know what any of the clan symbols are, so... yeah, go whatever clan that is. Yes, I recognise the name Erdnot because that was Erdnot Rex. He was one of your companions in the first and possibly later games. He turns up from time to time. if he survives. Right, we're off into the desert. We're going to go to that big spaceship and we're going to stop them stealing its drive core. Which
temperature levels are climbing, Pathfinder.
Jesus Christ, Sam, I swear. Which they're planning to use as a bomb to blow up our home. That just won't do. Anyway, if you have been, thank you for watching. I've been Wolverine, this has been Mass Effect Andromeda. Tatty bye, like, subscribe, and all that lovely stuff.